Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
Well, unfortunately, the little poo-poo in taipan, it doesn't seem to be eating. Hello. So, since he's over here, this is going to take a little bit different technique to get him to the other room on the table where I can work with him. And if you would open the door, I will go over because this is the way we'll do it. Yeah, that's fine. It's not being molested, you know. While I have it, you can grab the fuzzy and just pull them out, stick them in a deli cup or a cup or something. Okay. Now for the tricky part. Okay, you hold right there. He sort of as he gets used to this. No, we don't want to hurt your little head like that. Oh, you little sucker. That's the problem with gloves, is you lose dexterity and toxic, or in this case, highly toxic worms can slip through your fingers. Okay, so Fuzzy, you're out. You're back where you were. And now we get to do this again. All because of your innate stubbornness. I don't want to inject air into his guts. That would be very bad. Come on. I don't want to get it in his windpipe either. I know this is unpleasant. I'm sorry. But that's the way it goes. You eat, that means that I don't have to do this. Having a little trouble there, bud? Go back under your log. Let me get the tube. I'll put you back and let you digest that. No, you don't want to come up and visit me.
Very, very pretty.
Okay, so now we just reverse what we did. I need the door. And the other door.
Yeah, there's that head right there.
Okay. The return of the asshole. She started feeding on her own on live fuzzies and pinks and stuff, but recently has taken to just killing them and leaving them just for the hell of it, which pisses me off to no end. So I'm going to force feed her with the tube, and she'll like that even less. But she's getting bigger and a bit dehydrated right now, and definitely, well, that was a dry bite. Are you saving it for the real me? Huh? Another dry bite.
Yeah, she's waiting for you.
Well, let's see, we'll heat it up with my fingers and see if we can get some venom this time. Nope. Alright, well, I don't have time to screw around with you. So we're just going to do our thing. And, you know, you're an expert at this now. You've been, you know, for viperids, these really remind me a lot of the cascabels, the South American rattlesnakes. They also remind me of a lot of the Australian elapids, because these things will you know, rear up and let loose at you to get extra altitude. Oh, we don't know where the hand is coming from, do we? Huh? Over here. Ooh, death roll.
Whoa.
Oh, now we got venom.
Oh.
Okay. Safely behind the jaws. So, yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, she was just like, I'm going to bite you because you pissed me off. And now, oof, 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 she's shitting all over the place. Excuse me, folks.
Ugh. You want me to straighten her?
Yeah, be very careful of the tail, and she's looped, so that won't work.
There you
Okay.
go. Oof. You.
See how it's separated?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's, since it was frozen, it's still good. It just didn't go so well. Well, there's a full tummy for you.
Oof.
And let's see. I see you didn't get all that shedding off. You're going to lose your tail, you know. Hmm? Mrs. Viperkeeper is an expert. Should I let her work on your tail?
No.
Ask Mr. Grumpus.
It was not my fault.
All right. Well, let's put you back in there so you can sit and count the hours to the next time you get a chance to bite me. Oh. The chick is gone from there,
Excellent.
and the chick is gone from there. Okay, so we know the boomslangs are eating.
Very good.
Yep. Well, as you can see with the Elvis monster cage, it's really cramped in here right now, and I'm not certain exactly what I'm gonna do and where I'm gonna put it, but I've got other animals to care for, including these baby wagglers. Now these were feeding reportedly on mouse tails, but I don't have the time to deal with mouse tails and baby whatevers. So how many we got in there? 4 now. 5 is someplace yet to be found.
Oh, it's on the floor, on the ground back there.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
Hi. Come on. So I've tried to get them to eat since I was told they were eating pinks and stuff. I tried to get them to eat. Look at them when they're all tails wrapped around each other. Well, since you're out, you're going to be first. How you doing? How you doing? Now, once again, we deal with toxic worms, and we're going to give them some sustenance via the cannula here. So, obviously, the first thing is, well, I'm an arboreal. I will wrap my tail around anything and bite. Fortunately, you know, wagglers, pit vipers, also known as temple vipers, are generally pretty easygoing. They're not going to be so easygoing when I have to restrain them and stuff. But, you know, this sort of thing needs to be done. So I've got the graduated syringe because I don't want to overfill them in the smallest baby cannula. They're not terribly long, but I want to get some food into them. Come on. These guys have super long fangs. Let's make sure we don't get it down the windpipe. There we go. I know this is no fun. I'm sorry. Now let's...
Oops.
Come on.
See if I can grab the tail.
Here.
There we go.
Okay, so we need to stop chomping my catheter. We need to see
Oh,
where...
it's pooping on me. Blech.
Well, come on.
I guess I can't blame him. I'd be upset too.
We'll go 10 centimeters down, and we'll fill them up with, let's see, we'll look at 1 cc. I know. The interesting about wagglers is, okay, we'll go to 2 cc's. Got a full tummy. The interesting thing about wagglers is, you know, these are also known as temple vipers. Don't regurge. You did regurge a little bit. Maybe 3 was a little too much. Okay, so we'll go a little lighter on the next one. They're called temple vipers because there's some temples in Malaysia and Indonesia where basically it's a religious place that's filled with wagglers, pit vipers that because they think they're sort of sacred. Come on, get your little head in there because you'll get to visit me here soon enough. There we go. Come on. I almost crushed your tail. And they're docile enough that actually people go to the temple and pay to have their picture taken free handling a pit viper. Now, their venom is reported to be very mild, but I still don't want to try it. Out of 50 bites in Sulawesi All of them were very mild. That's a little far back. They were all very mild bites, swelling and pain, and no real loss of tissue or anything like that. I mean, you might have some local damage, but only one case out of the... Get that little fang back there. Do we get that in the right place? I think we did. Come on. We got 10 centimeters. Here, grab that twisty, curly, poopy part. Only one person had some sort of platelet dysfunction. So there's one. I lost all my graduations and stuff, so that's probably plenty for you. Oh.
Not happy, huh?
Well, go inside here. That'll fill your little tummy with some electrolytes and some good stuff. Chicken baby food, Gerber's chicken baby food. It works reasonably well. So, wagglers, it turns out, some varieties have an interesting compound in their venom that does affect platelets, but I don't think there's really, I mean, I don't think there's a specific antivenin. I don't think they give antivenin for a bite. But I'm still not willing to try it out because I know what pit viper venom feels like, and it's no fun at all. So we'll just pass on that. And fortunately, this is a little guy, and not a big one because they get to be a couple feet long, because they primarily, prey on rats and birds, and you need to have a good plumage to feed on birds, because your fang has to get through there. Okay, let's see. You're still there. I'll drop you back there, and you got a little.
Still burping up a bit.
Yeah, so we're gonna wash their face down. Oh, the dihydrogen oxide. Yeah, I might be overfilling them a little bit. Alright, well, these two with their entwined tails, being a boreal, you would expect that to sort of happen. This one's a real scrawny little guy, and of course this sort of occurs and when I'm not going to be here every day to or every other day to feed them. So that makes it all the more difficult to keep these guys alive. And Mrs. Viperkeeper will offer them some mouse tails and see if they will eat mouse tails. Come on. Are we in the right place? Show me your glottis. Come on. Okay. Gotta be really careful. I had a horrific experience doing this, and I actually punctured the esophagus and put a whole bunch of food into their body cavity, and that was not pleasant because You know, I had to euthanize the animal because that was just not going to end well. Alright, you got a little shot, maybe you won't throw up.
Oh! Oh, they're not so easy going now.
Yeah, they're a little bit hyper. But, you know, as I always say, put yourself in the snake's position.
Well,
If something
yes.
big grabbed us and stuck a tube down our throat and fed us,
It's an alien abduction is
yes,
what it is.
yes, it is. We wouldn't be very happy about it and would fight really well. You know, this is really sort of good because this has got some Pedialyte, which has got you know, some fluid and some electrolytes and some salts and stuff to get into these guys. Okay, where is the glottis? It's there. I don't think this would go down the glottis.
And some things are a bit too big. They're so tiny.
9, 10. And we're just going to give this guy the rest of that. If I sit up, it'll run back down. Okay, so I'll take this down and clean it. Really have to set fly traps.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah, major explosion of. Just in case there's some buggies on there that we don't want to introduce into our next guy that we're going to feed. Rinse that with water. It's a little bit more pleasant. This out. Garbage. Okay, so let's get this back here. Let's get this over here. Let me go find my victim. Okay, you're the big one. Yeah, you have to be really careful peering into this cage because there's all sorts of things that will bite you.
Yes, these are nowhere near as pleasant and laid back as the wagglers.
Now, knowing snakes, I would wager that he's way back there trying to hide. So we're going to put you back there and we're going to pull you out exactly where I thought you would be.
Is that the little scrawny one?
Yep, that's the big feeder up there. Hello, we meet again. I knew he would be in the absolute.
He's hiding.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be bothered. See, this guy all of a sudden has decided that he wants to die, and I've gotten him to voluntarily take, with a little bit of coercion, mice pinks, but you know, he got one part of the way down, and I think his digestive tract is so dry because it's been not used regularly recently. We won't make any innuendo there, but there's plenty of room to make some. The digestive tracts in snakes will actually sort of reabsorb the lining of their intestine when they're not being fed or haven't fed in a long time. And subsequently, when food comes, it takes some hours or to the next day before the lining starts to grow back and starts to digest the food. It's a very interesting process, and Warren Booth, a snake investigator, did this study with I think Burmese pythons, studying which genes turn on and get activated after a snake has fasted for a while. And this was a keynote speaker at the pit viper conference I went to a couple years ago in Oklahoma. That he was the host. Just a very brilliant scientist and a nice guy. But even though it had nothing to do with pit vipers, the majority of his talk was on what they found and what gene sequences turned on when snakes started to feed was totally amazing from the science standpoint. And it was certainly one of the neatest talks that I've ever heard, even though it was on pythons, which I'm relatively not interested in. So now that he's been sitting here and hasn't been molested, I'm going to do that because he knows that I've done this before to him, and he's getting all wound up and ready to go. You know, picking up these little guys is really, really tricky because the heads are small and thank you. The heads are very small, but if your fingers slip forward at all, you will get fanged. Now, I gave him a little bit of a preliminary dose of food the other day, so I'm going to give him a little bit more today. That's probably good, let's say 14 centimeters. So, you know, he may regurge some of it, but okay, so there's the bump. So what we'll do before we put him back is we'll sort of massage this out, but this is, I'm going to give him a big bolus because he could certainly use it. If he upchucks it a little bit, that's okay too, but I think that's probably a reasonable meal for this snake. Belly looks nice and full right there. Hopefully he doesn't spit it out. Now, hold still, hold still. Okay. Bing. Now you can go back under your rock. But I advise you, we got the swollen throat, which means that I don't like any of this and I'm going to throw it up. But, you know, Lori and I have reached the point that, you know, okay, he's trying to kill himself. You know, so what do we do? Do we let him starve to death? Do we euthanize him? Or do we sort of abuse him and try to get some nutrition into him and maybe he'll come around? So that's the route that we chose. We may lose the battle, but we're not going to get down without a fight.
Yep.
So that's it for the ceratophora and the force feeding tonight. And now for our next round of fun.
Let's close this.
Yeah. Let's give another spray down. These guys get sprayed down pretty heavy twice a day.
Oh yeah, it's always fun when I come up and spray them because then they all get stuck on the glass and climb it.
Yeah, Wagler's pit vipers are very difficult to keep, even for advanced keepers, simply because they require high humidity but good ventilation. You know, they've got a big screen top, so that should supply enough ventilation, and humidity is pretty low in the room but not in their cage. So we'll see what goes on with the Wagglers. We got to get them feeding first, otherwise nothing else matters because they're not going to make it.